ask you about a specific event, but I have some notes here, and I'll be making some notes of what you tell me. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Please describe a specific situation that happened at one point in time where you did not get the outcome you wanted.
Okay, so about a year ago, I was moving. So I moved from my mom's house, and I moved on my own. It happened kind of weird because me and my mom kind of were beefing. Well, she was beefing with me, and and then so like after I moved and everything, she wasn't really talking to me. And my brother called me. My brother never usually calls me, so when he called me, I was like, okay, here we go. So he called me and he was just going on and on about how he could talk to my mom because I was basically explaining my point of view about like why I'm not reaching out, and he was like, oh, you should just talk to her because that's how she is. That's how she is. So I moved. My mom refused to talk to me. My brother was calling me, forcing me to talk to my mom.
Okay.
Right?
During this situation, what were your thoughts?
My thoughts were, so I felt upset.
Okay.
I was upset that he never usually calls me, but he was now calling me and forcing me to do something I didn't want to do. I also felt, how do I say it? Like, I know I'm an adult, but I felt like I was being made to feel like a child. Like, that's your mom, talk to your mom. Yeah.
Okay. And what were two behaviors you would say that you had during this situation?
So one, I may have said some, did I say unkind? Some hard truths. I said some hard truths to my brother. And then what else did I do? I don't know. So I said some hard truths to my brother, and I also probably dragged on the beef, the conflict,
Okay.
longer than it should have been.
Okay. Okay. And what did you want to get out of that situation? So what was your desired outcome?
I wanted my mom to I wanted her to actually be the bigger person. Oh, wait, I forgot another behavior. So I did say some hard truths to my brother, and I did argue with my mom. So me and my mom we had like a huge argument. What I would have liked to happen? Is your question?
What was your desired outcome?
Was my mom to not be so petty and be the bigger person and see where I was coming from about moving, and yeah, I wanted her to see like me moving as kind of like living with the bird. You know how like
Letting you spread your wings.
yeah.
Just taking some notes here.
Okay.
Okay. So what actually happened in this situation?
What actually happened was my mom continued to be petty. She continued to not talk to me. continue to tell my brother and my dad about how I'm not talking to her. What else happened? She'd not be the bigger person. And what? And then I had to what's the word? Put my pride aside and my ego aside and talk to her. And basically brush it under the rug. So was the conflict what do you call the word when you not fix a conflict?
Resolved?
Yeah, was it resolved? I don't think so. It was just brushed under the rug. And we just moved on.
Okay. Do you feel like your desired outcome was within your control? Like wanting her to be the bigger person and not being petty and seeing your side of things?
No. Because that was something she had to do, and I can't control her actions.
Okay. Are you okay if we take a deeper look at this situation and see how we can maybe address some of your thoughts and patterns and behaviors?
Yeah.
All right. To maybe get a more desirable outcome. All right. So did your first thought help or hurt you in getting your desired outcome? So you said your first thought was that your brother usually never calls you, but now he was calling to force you to talk to your mom, which is something you didn't want to do. Did that help or hurt you reach your desired outcome?
I mean, I did eventually talk to her, so maybe it didn't. I don't know.
But your desired outcome was for her to be the bigger person.
Oh yeah, so and he was forcing me to talk to her, and I said I felt upset, hurt, I guess.
Okay. All right. What about your second thought? You said you felt like you were being made to feel like a child in the situation. Did that help or hurt you reach your desired outcome, which was for her to be the bigger person and not be petty and see things from your perspective?
Hurt. Wait, what was my second thought? Sorry.
You said you felt like you were being made to feel.
Oh, feel like a child. Feeling like a child. I don't think it hurt.
Okay. So what alternative thought do you think would have helped you get what you wanted? Wait. Let's back up a little bit. So I heard you say that your desired outcome was that you wanted your mom to be a bigger person and not be petty and see things from your perspective. But we also established that that was not within your control.
Yeah.
So what is an alternative desired outcome that is within your control?
So I want her to be the bigger person. My control would be. Oh, that's hard.
It's okay. Take a moment, think about it.
Maybe. mean, putting it aside, and but I did that, and I wasn't really proud. Couldn't say putting everything aside and just talk to her, but that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And not the outcome I wanted. So I guess what's in my control in that case is being like me. I could have been the bigger person and tried to resolve the issue, because the issue itself was deeper than me moving.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe trying to see what the no, because again that's not in my control. I guess not being upset. It's like understanding that my brother is probably just calling because she was complaining to him. So not being upset, one, that my brother called me or any of my other family members, and not taking it personal. So not taking the entire thing personal. Two,
Well, let's stick with the I guess one
one,
desired outcome
okay,
that's within your control.
okay. So not taking,
The whole situation personal.
yeah,
That would have been a desired outcome that's within your control.
yeah, because I don't know, yeah.
Okay. So with that desired outcome in mind, let's go back to your thoughts.
Okay.
So your first thought of your brother never calling you, but now he's calling you to force you to talk to your mom. Did that help or hurt you reach the goal of not being upset and not taking it personal?
Um, he's forcing me to be the bigger person, and my goal was to not take it personal. I guess you could say that helped. I don't know. Because if he's telling me to like not, he was telling me to be the bigger person. So if I'm not taking it personal,
But you said, I'm just repeating what you said.
okay.
You said that your first thought was that he never usually calls you, but now he's calling to force you to call your mom.
Oh.
So did that thought help?
Oh no, that thought.
I mean, if it helps,
No, that thought hurt because I already had like a negative connotation. Like he never calls, so like why is he calling now?
Okay. All right. And then your second thought of feeling like you were being made to feel like a child. Did that help or hurt you reach your desired outcome of not taking it personal, not being upset?
Also hurt because again that has like a negative. It's like a negative feeling, like I'm feeling like a child again, and I have to talk to you.
Okay. So, what is an alternative thought that would have helped you get your desired outcome to not take it personal, not be upset?
My brother is trying to be helpful and hoping to resolve the conflict between my mom and I.
Okay.
And the one regarding feeling like a child. It's an alternative thought.
Wait, is that alternative thought, is that realistic?
Yeah, I feel that's realistic. It's like reframing how I originally thought about, because as soon as I saw him calling me, I automatically was like, you're calling me about my mom.
Okay.
So maybe I could have thought about it like, well, he's just trying to resolve the conflict between my mom and I.
Okay. So going to your second thought of feeling like you were being made to feel like a child, did that help or hurt you reach your desired outcome of not taking it personal, not being upset?
Hurt.
Right. And what's an alternative thought that you could have had that would have helped reach the desired outcome?
Um, internal thoughts. I guess being the bigger person doesn't necessarily mean that. Because my whole thing was like I felt like a child because they were forcing me to be the bigger person. I don't know.
It's okay.
Thing.
You can think of an alternative thought, something that would help you reach your desired outcome.
Okay.
Like not taking it personal.
So not taking it personal was the goal. Oh, okay. It'd be that my mom. So I feel like this is like something I'm trying to like like my mom has her own like issues happening, and maybe they're being projected onto me. I feel like that's like not in a bad way, but like we all have our own issues, and sometimes we kind of project that onto other people. Stuff like that could be alternative thoughts.
Okay. Is that a realistic thought? Something we can realistically have? Okay.
Or, sorry.
Okay.
Or that she's just having a difficult time with me moving. So that was another one. Like, she has her own issues and she's having a difficult time with the transition for me moving out. So now she's like living by herself.
Okay. Thank you. So moving on to your behaviors, you said that you said some hard truths to your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Did that help or hurt you in your desired outcome to not take the situation personally enough that you said?
Hurt.
All right. So what's an alternative behavior that you could have done that would have helped you reach your desired outcome?
Alternative behavior would be, I guess, listening to what he had to say without being defensive.
Okay. You think that's something that's realistic?
Now, yeah, but in the moment when I'm heated, no. So maybe I could have told him like, hey, because it was in the heat of the moment when he called me.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I could have been like, hey, can I call you back? And then where I'd be more receptive to what he had to say.
So do you think that could have been the other alternative behavior? So like, okay. So your second behavior, we'll just stick to what's here.
Okay.
You said that you had a huge argument with your mother. Do you think that helped or hurt you reach your desired outcome of not taking it personally?
Oh, that definitely hurt.
Okay. So, oh mercy. So could that alternative behavior, the second alternative behavior, been to pause a moment and tell your brother you'll call him back?
Yeah. So to pause a moment, so my brother, I'll call him back. And I'll be able to be. I'm not so heated, so I'll be more receptive and open to what he's gonna say. Now, for arguing with my mom, the same could be said. I could have, time being, I could have been like taking a moment to breathe, maybe leaving the house, then coming back and trying to when the situation has de-escalated.
Okay. All right. Do you think that those behaviors are realistic?
Yep, I think so.
All right. So, how important is it for you to change your, I guess, not so positive pattern of thinking and behaving?
Yeah. How important is it? I guess.
Sorry, on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 being not important at all, and 10 being extremely important.
Let's see, 8. Actually, no, it's very important because I do take things personal. Has to be something 10.
Okay, so 10. All right, and how confident are you that if you decided to make these changes, you could actually do it on a scale from 0 to 10? How confident are you?
Maybe a 6.
What could we do to get that to a 10?
I don't know, I just think it takes like practice over and over to not to like take a minute to breathe, even if to remove myself, and then try to come up with a solution, I guess, or like going back when I've de-escalated. But it's hard like when I'm in the moment because I do tend to go from like 0 to like 10 real quick.
Okay.
Wait, what was you said?
How
could
confident?
how no? But then you said how could I?
Oh, get from a 6 to a 10 in confidence. That you can make these changes.
I think it just takes practice of doing, trying to like de-escalate. Well, trying to like bring myself down when I get there.
Okay.
Have to practice doing that.
Okay.
Over and over.
All right. Well, thank you for taking a deeper look at this situation with me. That's all our time for today. See you next week. We can talk about this more next week if you like.
Okay.